I have stopped listening to music 1 week ago, and I already feel that it completely changed my life. And I believe that it will completely transform my life. And today I will share some of my experience that I go into this 1 week, this first week of me abstaining from music. And maybe in like a month or maybe in a year, hopefully, I will make a video about what this actually has added up to, this abstaining from music. So I don't want to talk too much here. So let's get right into the topic. What has really changed during this week? What are the changes that I've noticed? And one of the most biggest changes that I have noticed internally is that I am way more content and that I have way more willpower. Okay, so I was actually sick this week. I don't even know. Maybe it's because that I abstain from music, because addictions sometimes cause you to fall ill when you start to abstain from them. But I have noticed that I've made a big transformation. My body has gone through a very big transformation since I have abstained, stopped listening to music. And one of the biggest changes that I've noticed is the willpower that it has given me. So actually the effects of music, let's talk about the effects of music first, because I actually am in the belief that actually 90% of the world's problems come from the modern music industry. The music industry is not like it was before. If you listen to piano sounds or if you listen to like calming music instruments, that's all good, that's all fair. But the modern music industry is not like that. The modern music industry is actually hypnotizing your brains, and it has certain frequencies and certain rhythms that cause your body to be stimulated in a way that isn't very beneficial for you. I mean, I'm not a scientist about this music stuff, but I know certainly that frequencies have some effect on our brains, and also rhythm has a big effect on our brains. If you listen to the music that was played 100, 200 years ago, it was very, very different. The rhythm was very, very different. And now the speed, the tempo, the BPM has changed over time. I have to note also that I was a professional musician a few years ago, so I know what I'm talking about. I have actually produced music, and I know the effects of music that it can have. When you go into kind of like the spiritual realm, where you like manifesting and stuff like that, I don't really like that term, but you can actually, music is a very good tool to focus your mind to a specific thing. And I believe that the youth nowadays listens to these tunes 24/7, and what do they preach all the time? They are listening to preachers 24/7 that preach about doing drugs, doing alcohol, clubbing, partying, the opposite gender, and in a degrading way, and all these things nonstop 24/7. So no matter where you look, you see people having these earphones on, and it's not actually only the earphones. It's TikTok, it's everywhere. I don't want to sound like a boomer, but it's actually sad that people don't realize that they're actually listening to a preacher, but the preacher is really, really bad. I mean, some people don't want to listen to preachers, when they preach about good stuff. Like me, for example, right now, probably most people wouldn't listen to this. You're probably the exception, but people listen to this willingly about all these things that I've listed before, and 24/7, and it's just the focus of your mind goes away. So this is also a big thing that I've noticed. I'm way more focused, and maybe even you notice in my speech, I'm way more calm. I speak way more slowly. Before, I was really, really, I've forgotten the word, but I was really, really hectic is the word. I was really hectic about things. I was hectic in the way that I spoke. But now that I've stopped listening to music, I've calmed down a bit. So also one of the big effects that I've noticed after like the 2 or 3 days that I've abstained from music is that I have really felt this. Every single thought that I had that was really not that pleasant, when I had a thought that was not that pleasant for me, I immediately thought about listening to music, because I wanted to suppress the feelings that come up, the thoughts that come up, and I didn't want to confront myself with this. And now if we think about this in a big scale, if every being, if our generation is constantly suppressing their emotions, is constantly suppressing their feelings, their thoughts, their deep thoughts about nature, about humanity, about the society, if we constantly suppress this, what is going to happen? We're going to have a sick society, and we do have a sick society. So I believe that music is one of the great evils in our society that we must get rid of. There are also a couple others that I probably will make a video about and will rant about, because I'm really disgusted about a few things in our society today. And I think you can actually feel the same way if you watch this video. So let's stick to the topic of music. I'm really happy with the music, and also I'm really happy that I stopped listening to music. And also, what I've noticed is that after like 3 or 4 days, suddenly it came about like this music that I have heard years ago, that I've heard in my childhood, that I've completely forgotten. They have completely come up, and I was like, dude, I've completely forgotten about that music. And you can see there that there's a lot of emotions stored up, there's a lot of memories stored up in our subconscious minds that we don't want to see. When we stop listening to music, when we stop getting those inputs all the time, if we actually empty our minds and let nature flow into it, you actually see, you feel for the first time. One of the greatest quotes that I came up with during this time was, when you actually stop listening to the rhythm of music, you start to listen to the rhythm of your soul. And this quote summarizes the way I feel about abstaining from music. The way life is set up, and this is truly something fascinating, and it has to do something with God Almighty. He has made this perfect system where when you abstain from something, you get something better. And music is a transgression, a form of transgression. So you are seeking something that is stimulating your brain. And that's why it's a sin, because it's a transgression. It's not natural. You don't hear these sounds in the natural world, right? So when you look at, when you abstain from that, you free up your mind to receive the rhythm of your soul, and you start to listen. You start to listen to your heart. You start to listen to your thoughts. You start to listen to your emotions, and that's the rhythm of the soul. And this rhythm is beautiful. It's calm, it's serene, it's tranquil, and you couldn't replace it with anything else. And this is the beauty of virtue. If you live a virtuous life, and if you have virtuous tasks, God Almighty, Allah, will reward you. If you abstain from something that is bad, you will receive something that is 10 times better than this. This is a good end note to end this video right here. As always, I thank you. I appreciate that you have been here with me and have listened to me, and I always pray for you that you live a virtuous life. If you are interested in more videos like this, you can subscribe right here. If you are interested in more videos like this, you can watch a video right here. And as always, we'll see us in the next video. Peace and blessings be with you, my friend. As-Salam Aleikum wa rahmatullah.